Hey, Shalom Israel. We up and running. Hey, what is hey Shalom Shabbat Kafar. Hold on, let me add you to the stream. Give me one.
Gotcha.
I'll turn that speaker for me. Let's see if the brother comes through the speaker. Yeah, most of the close. Where was we? We're running late. All right, so as you know, we have classes here Monday through Friday. We have live ones, which you can attend 394 Lodge Road. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7 p.m. till 9. Tuesday, Friday, online classes, Brotherhood, Lashwan Kodash, the radio show, 9 p.m. Sabbath service on the Saturday. And yeah, we here, man. Classes all throughout the week. Follow all the pages, the TikToks, the Instagram, the Facebook. Listen, we're trying to be on everything. TikTok, Instagram, Periscope. We're on everything, man. Twitter, Facebook, you name it, man. All of them platforms we on, man. All them social medias we on, man. The only social media you're never gonna see us on is OnlyFans. So lucky, we ain't never going on that shit. You ain't never gonna see us on that shit. But Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, find us there. Don't be trying to look for us on OnlyFans. Listen, you ain't gonna see us there. So lucky, you might see the GOCC there. So lucky, we ain't gonna see us there. The GOCC might be on there, but we ain't gonna be on there. As you know, England, they got a new prime minister. I can't even remember her name, but let me pull up a picture of your new prime minister. That's her name. That's her name, Liz Truss. Hold on. So we're going to pull you up a picture of your new prime minister. Hold on, let me pull up an image. StreamYard. Share screen. Hold on. This is your new prime minister. Hold on, let me make it bigger from this side. This right here is your new prime minister, man. This is who you voted to put in office. So now Boris Johnson's gone. Now this lady's coming. So this lady right here, let's see if we can get the picture a bit closer. This is your new prime minister. Oh. This is your new prime minister. So she's about to govern the whole country. And she said the same thing that they all say. We're going to bring the prices down. We're going to cut the price of tax. Everybody has to work hard now. We're all going to do this together. And every time they get in office, they tell you the same thing. Yeah, life's going to become better. Life's going to become easier. We're going to fix this. We're going to fix that. And they sell your dreams. And guess what happens? They changed nothing, man. They changed nothing. But we should sit back and watch England for and let them put in office whoever they want to put in office, man. Whoever they want to put in charge, allow them to put whoever they want to put in charge. Because it ain't our problem. It ain't our problem. We ain't supposed to be voting anyway. Voting is a sin. According to the Bible, man. The Lord said voting is a sin. Black people ain't supposed to vote for who? For no other nation. The Lord said we ain't supposed to put no other nation over us. We ain't supposed to set no strangers over us. Give me 1 second. And you got a new health minister. Hold on, let me find that here. Okay, let me find a picture of her. Listen. Oi, let me show you a picture of your new health. Listen, Let me show you a picture of your new health minister. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you right now. I'm gonna show you right now. The new health minister. This right here. This right here is your new health minister. Look, this this right here. That's your new health minister, Salaka. This don't even need a breakdown. This just needs a laugh. You just laugh. This is your new health minister. England, give yourself a hand. This is your new health minister. That looks like she don't know nothing about health, man.
Yes, sir.
Health minister that don't know nothing about health. Let's see if we can zoom in on this. Salaka. Let's zoom in. Listen, man, this is your new health minister. I don't know what to say. Just look at that picture. This picture should let you know, man. England is crumbling, man. England is falling, man. This is your new health minister. Look at the chin and everything, man. Look, listen, man. These is the ones that introduce healthy school dinners, man. Listen, they tried to do this thing where they introduce healthy school dinners, and this woman here. You know what? Hold on, you know what? We're gonna see what a healthy school dinner is, what they introduced. But this woman right here. Listen, man, I don't even know what to say. Give me 1 second. Let's pull up the UK healthy school dinner. Let me pull up an image of it. All right, so now they've introduced healthy school dinners. Let me remove that one. Let me share the next one. So now these right here is what they tried to introduce to schools. They said that obviously school kids eating too much junk food. So this is what they tried to introduce, man. Now that woman's in office, these meals ain't gonna look like this no more, man. That meal ain't gonna be looking like this no more. She's gonna change those meals. They even introduced the sugar tax. Let's go look at the sugar tax in the UK, man. They put money on everything. Sugar tax, UK. All right, hold on. Let me see if this is. Wait a minute. Let me see if I can get the. All right, so now this is the sugar tax. So let me share the screen. Share screen. So now this is the sugar tax in the UK. It is officially called the Soft Drinks Industrial Levy. The tax puts a charge of 24p drinks containing 8 grams of sugar per 100 ml and 18p a litre on those with 5 to 8 grams of sugar per 100 ml, directly payable by manufacturers to HM revenue customers. So now, these drinks that you buy, they put an extra charge on it. If you've ever brought a drink from McDonald's, they put an extra 13 pence on the Coca-Cola. I don't know if you've seen it, but you buy Coca-Cola from McDonald's, they put an extra 13 pence on there. So listen, man. This man says the drinks are unhealthy, the sugar tax, and all of them things. Hold on, give me 1 second. Yeah, it says the drinks and all of these things are unhealthy. Instead of getting rid of them completely, what does it do? Keeps them and just charges you more to drink them, to buy them. This man has a thing called the clean air zone, meaning if you drive inside this clean air zone, he does what? Charges you £8 per day. If you don't pay, you get a £70 fine. They say that this is a clean air zone. Now, if everyone was millionaires and drove their car in the road, what would happen? air will still not be clean, man. Them saying clean air zone and clean air zone charge applies. That makes no sense, man. Listen, what do you think it rains for, man? All these things get cleaned when it rains. It's called wet deposition, man. Where rainwater falls down, it lands on roofs, and in these raindrops, it picks up all these all this bacteria and stuff. Man. The rain gets things clean and so forth. So what they're doing is taking money for free. And what you'll find out about England, they're constantly taking money for free, whether it's through drink tax, whether it's through petrol, and now the blame it on the Russians are because of Russia, the prices have gone up. Listen, man, you could bring the prices down if Boris Johnson wasn't sending billions of pounds to Ukraine, man. You're sending billions of pounds to Ukraine, allowing Ukrainians to come to England. And what are Ukrainians doing wants to come to England? They're raping women, man. They're raping women. Them Ukrainians are coming to England and they're raping women. I don't see them getting deported, but I see hard-working Caribbean people getting deported, and they ain't done a thing wrong. But we're going to go into the non-voting scripture. Give me Deuteronomy 17 and verse 14. Deuteronomy 17 and verse 14. Also, any questions, just type them in the chat.
Um, 17 and 14, sir.
Turn that down a little bit, quite sorry. Yeah, 17 and verse 14.
Okay, got another one. Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 14. When thou art come unto the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, and shalt possess it, and shalt dwell therein, and shalt say, I will set a king over me, like as all the nations.
The Lord said to us, when we come into the land and we decide to set a king over us, the Lord's giving us what we should and shouldn't do. Because while all these other nations had kings, the Lord was saying to them, yo, are you not sure you want a king? No, don't. You shouldn't want one. I'm going to be your king, this and that. We wanted to be like the other nations. So what did the Lord do? The Lord gave us a king, man. Because we seen all the other nations had a king, and we wanted to follow the other nations. And we do this every single time. So much that what? Hold on, I'm going to pull that precept afterwards, actually. But I read on. Do you know what I'm on about, Carl? Find it.
I will set a king over me, like as all the nations that are about me. Verse 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose.
So it says, you set over you someone who the Lord thy God chooses. The Lord ain't choosing no Edomite to be king over you, man. The Lord ain't choosing no East Indian to be king over you. He ain't choosing those people to be king over you. The Lord ain't even choosing every kind of black man to be king over you, man. A man of the Lord has to be over you. You should only trust the man of the Lord. And we've been trusting these governments for far too long. And they ain't men of God or people of God. They're devils, man. And they lie to us and they deceive us and they tell us any old garbage. And we've fought for it so much times. I'm sure they've changed prime minister in the last 5 years about 5 times, man. They've changed prime minister that much times. First you had David Cameron, you had Theresa May, you had Boris Johnson. Now you got this guy, man. No, this woman now. Now you got this woman, Liz Truss or whatever. And listen, if you're trusting in England, you're gonna die in that day, man. The day when the Lord visits this place, you're gonna die in that day, man. If you're trusting in England and you wanna join England and be hand in hand with it, man. If you want to be hand in hand with England and the people of the land, when the day comes, you're going to die with those people. So you need to pick a side. There's none of this, I'm in the middle. There's none of this, I'm neutral. Nah, man, you have to pick a side. You better pick your side today. Do you want to be on the side of the Lord? Or do you want to be on the side of Liz Truss and this new House Secretary, man? Do you want to be on their side or do you want to be on the side of the Lord? If you want to be on the side of the Lord, you'll find yourself at 394 Lodge Road, B85PW, man. That's where you'd find yourself. Go ahead.
Come, another one, come. One from among thy brethren shall thou set king over.
It says, one from among thy brethren, meaning this man has to be your brother, man. This man has to be of the same bloodline as you. This man has to be a descendant of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. If you're setting anyone over you, That's what your brethren is, man. Go ahead.
Got another one, Khan. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which
Thou
is
mayest
not thy brother.
Read that part for me one more time, Walter.
Counsel, slakje.
No, sir.
Thou shalt in slakje. From among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother.
Listen, man, it says, don't set a stranger over you. And a stranger over you is you putting another nation over you, man. You should at least understand no other nation should rule over you. What you would find is everybody else is usually ruled over by their own people. But when it comes to us, we ruled over by everybody. We join Arab religions ruled over by Arabs. Join Christianity ruled over by the white men. Listen, man, we should never be ruled over by another people. Hold that for me, Rotazar. You got that one for me, Kotazar? Yeah, the one in Samuel. Yeah. Give me that one, Kotazar.
1 Samuel chapter 8 and verse 5 and verse 4. Then all the elders of Israel gathered themselves together and came to Samuel unto Ramah and said unto him, Behold, thou art old, and thy sons walk not in thy ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations.
And they said what?
Make us a king to judge us like all the nations.
And we was looking at the other nations, and we seen that they had a king, and guess what happened? We wanted a king also, because we follow the other nations too much. So we always want what they have. Everything that they have, we want it. And this is how you know we the same people back then as we are today. In the Caribbean, what happened? East Indians, they had a king incarnate, which was who? Krishna. We looked at these Edomites. Everyone said they had a king incarnate, which was who the world called Jesus, Caesar Borgia. That was their white people's king incarnate. East Indians had Krishna, a god incarnate, meaning men that lived and passed away and was praised as gods. So they said, what? The East Indians have what? Listen, Leonard Howell and the rest, to be exact, they said East Indians have Krishna, white people have Jesus, and they said Selassie, and they said, well, this must be our king. They said all these other nations have a king. This must be our one. And because of that is why people worship Selassie today, man. Based off us following the other nations again. Based on them calling Krishna a god. Based on them calling Jesus a god. We then put Selassie on a pedestal and called him a god. And there's tons of interviews out there where Selassie will tell you he's not God. Let me see if I can find one. I don't even want to jump off topic, but let me see if I can find one real quick. There's one interview when Selassie says he's not God. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Hold on, let me find it for you. Listen, you play this to Rastas, and they be ignorant, man. Oh, him, that's what they call him, his imperial majesty. And listen, man, we got all of these stuff by following the other nations, man. If we weren't following the other nations, we won't be talking this garbage. Hold on, let me see if this is the right video.
Christians throughout the world here.
Let me go back to the start.
There are millions of Christians throughout the world, Your Imperial Majesty, who regard you as the reincarnation of Jesus Christ.
I had heard of that idea. I also met certain Rastafarians. I told them clearly that I am a man, that I am mortal, and that I will be replaced by the oncoming generation, and that they should never make a mistake in assuming or pretending that the human being is emanated from a deity.
But despite this clear declaration, millions of Ethiopians still believe that he is the reincarnation of Jesus Christ.
Listen, man, I don't even know if that's the proper one, but there's a proper way it tells you he ain't Jesus Christ, man. And there's a hold on. Let me see if I can find the picture. Hold on. There was a, where is it now? Listen, there's a picture of Selassie with a Jesus picture on the wall, man. Caesar Borgia picture. Let me see if I can find it. No, hold on. There's a picture of Selassie sitting down, and there's a picture of Caesar Borgia on the wall in the back. We should let you know that this man. You must have seen that picture in it, quite. Have you seen it? Yeah, sitting down. Them pictures is pictures that. Hold on. No, it's probably not going to be on there. But when I find it, I will make sure I show you. I got it somewhere. But Selassie is not Jesus Christ, man. Selassie is not Jesus Christ. Selassie has nothing to do with us. Us like praising him as a king got black people nowhere, man. Got black people nowhere. Worshipping Selassie has nothing to do with us, man. Selassie was about what? 4 foot and died in the toilet, man. You know Selassie died in the toilet, right? They found his bones in the toilet, man. That Hamite has nothing to do with us, man. People look at Selassie like he's some god. He ain't no god, man. He's nothing to do with us. He's just some Ethiopian man, some Somalian man, some Eritrean man, all one and the same. That's all he is, man. He has nothing to do with us. Right. But we want to put him on a pedestal and worship him. Listen, I got some books on Selassie. Listen, I'm gonna bring them next week. But Selassie has nothing to do with us, man. I read them quite as well.
What this king displeased Samuel when they said, "Give us a king to judge us." And Samuel prayed unto the Lord. And the Lord said unto Samuel, "Hearken unto the voice of the people in all that they say unto thee, for they have not rejected thee, but they have rejected me."
For they have what?
For they have not rejected thee, but they have rejected me.
And we rejected the Lord when we said, "Give us a king so they can judge us." Whereas we could have had the Lord judge us, man.
Right.
We said, we want to be like the other nations. And we do this every single day. You see, whenever we vote to put these people in office, we reject the Lord, man. We reject the Lord every single day. Every single time we put these people in office, we reject the Lord. And we're supposed to serve the Lord, man. And this is why the Lord looks down on us displeased. Because our actions and everything we do, we go against him and displease him every single day, man. But we're meant to serve him with all our strength, all our might. Go ahead.
I should not reign over them.
And it's like we didn't want the Lord to reign over us. We wanted the king. We wanted who? We wanted Selassie in the 50s and the 60s. We wanted that Hamite to reign over us, man. And we wonder why we stay poor and broke and dying in the ghettos. Because we turn against God. We'd rather go to Selassie for help.
Right.
We'd rather go to Boris Johnson for help. And then we wonder why we're dying in the ghettos, man. We wonder why we're at the bottom of society. Why? Because we ain't serving the Lord. We'd rather go get help from Boris Johnson, from this house secretary who can't help with the goddamn thing other than diabetes and gout and all of them things. That's all she can do is make us get gout and diabetes and high blood pressure and everything, man. Listen, man, I think this woman smoking a cigar, this house secretary, man. At least get someone that you know. Listen, imagine this. She's the house secretary of the UK. In the UK, they put on the cigarette boxes, smoking kills, and this woman smoking cigarettes. It makes no sense, man. Which lets you know England's crumbling. They can't even find suitable, non-hypocritical people to do the job. They can't even find suitable people to do the job. But now they got any and everybody doing the job. England is crumbling, man. And what Black and Hispanic should do is sit down and watch it crumble. We should sit down and watch it crumble and say, well, it's not our business, man. It's none of our business. Go ahead.
According to all the works which they have done since the day that I brought them out of Egypt.
Actually, you can drop that now. That was the main part. What is our take you back to
verse 16, sir?
Yeah, go ahead.
Canada. Verse 16. But he shall not multiply horses to himself, nor cause the people to return to Egypt.
So now it said this king shouldn't multiply horses to himself. Meaning this king shouldn't what? Basically multiply and become rich and quadruple rich, and his whole focus is money and riches, like how Boris Johnson was doing, getting like £1,000 wallpapers and stuff, putting a tree house in his garden which costs thousands of pounds for his kids. You ain't supposed to live like that, man. Your job is to do what? rule over the people and serve them, man. That's your job. Your job ain't to be living filthy rich and everybody else is poor. Your job ain't to be throwing parties in lockdown and everybody else is poor. Everyone else can't party and whatnot. The king should not be a hypocrite, man. The ruler of a nation should not be a hypocrite. Go ahead.
Answer.
Go ahead.
Nor cause the people to return to Egypt, to the end that he should multiply horses. For as much as the Lord hath said unto you, ye shall henceforth return to Slakia. Ye shall henceforth return no more that way.
Meaning we ain't supposed to go backwards into Egypt, man. And if you're voting, you're going backwards, man. You're going backwards and you're returning to Egypt. You're returning to a next form of bondage. The thing is this, let them run the country how they want to run it. All we're going to do is just go to it and keep the laws of the land and serve the Lord and let them do whatever they want. That's what we're going to do. But as far as us voting and trying to be a voice and caring about who's the health minister and caring about who's the prime minister and protesting, that's not for us to do. We don't care about none of that because we want all of them to fall. We don't prefer one over the other. We want this whole land to fall, and we're waiting patiently for it, man. We're going to stay on the right side of the Lord so we can live to see it, man. Go ahead.
Read answer?
Yeah, come, go ahead.
Answer. Verse 17. Neither shall he multiply wives to himself, that his heart turn not away.
And now people read this precept, and people say, see, this man shouldn't you shouldn't have multiple wives. You shouldn't have multiple wives. It's not saying that, man. It says, neither shall he multiply wives to himself, that his heart turn not away. Why? Because if you multiply wives and you multiplying the wrong type of wives, guess what's going to happen? Your heart's going to turn away. I know men whose heart's been turned away with one wife, man. If you had the wrong wife, your heart could be turned away. Meaning, she could have you celebrating Christmas, man. She could have you celebrating Easter. She could cloud your vision. You could be blind by love, so blind by love that when you're supposed to serve the Lord, you end up going out for Valentine's Day, man. You end up taking her out for her birthday, buying birthday cake, all of those kind of things. You end up celebrating your children's birthday party. Why? Because you've multiplied the wrong type of wife, man. And she's turned your heart away. It's more talking about that. It ain't talking about a man can only have one wife. Because it tells you right there that don't turn his heart away, man. What you'll find is Solomon multiplied wives. And what did he do? Multiplied the wrong type of wives, man. And they turned his heart away. Pull me that one in Quatazar, it's in Kings 11. So now he multiplied wives and they turned his heart away, man. And the Lord's telling us we mustn't do that very thing. We mustn't do that. So our heart gets turned away. Like, oh, we can't do that, man. Now, if you want multiple wives, you're free to do it, man. You just make sure they don't turn your heart away. Make sure they don't try to get you to come to some Christmas play. Listen, I don't want to see you in class one day in a headpiece, and then when you go home, you got in a Christmas jumper. You and your wife got in the Christmas jumper with the flashing Christmas tree, all of those kind of things, man. Listen, a woman will do that to you. If she don't respect what you believe in, she's going to buy you a Christmas jumper, man. Right. And you're going to be in Christmas pajamas and a Christmas hat running around the house singing that last Christmas song, man, with the Christmas tree, putting presents under there. You're going to be doing all of those things. Exactly, eating pigs in a blanket and all of them things, man. Eating pigs in a blanket. And what else did he eat on Christmas Day? Listen, listen. Even before the truth, when my family tried to celebrate Christmas, we were so poor, we had nothing anyway. Listen, that Christmas plate was looking empty anyway. These times we was trying to celebrate Christmas so hard. And you know you're trying so hard to celebrate Christmas and not doing it right when every year you're getting boxes for Christmas, man. Every year you're getting socks for Christmas, man. Listen, I don't miss Christmas one bit. All I was getting for it was cheap Primark boxes anyway. Your grandma would wrap the boxes up, wrap it up, and you're ripping the tape off, thinking it's a Game Boy or a PlayStation, and it's a pair of boxes, man. Listen, Christmas has always been garbage, man. Imagine that. They couldn't even get a decent present. Listen, I'm glad Christmas is unlawful, man, because it was garbage anyway. But go ahead, Potters, give me that one.
First Kings 11 and verse 1. But King Solomon loved many strange women.
He did what?
Loved many strange women.
He loved many strange women. King Solomon multiplied strange women, man. He was seeing them heathens, and he had a soft spot for them. Go ahead.
Together with the daughter of Pharaoh.
Them Egyptian women, the daughters of Pharaoh. And when you're a king, what happens? Other kings give their daughters to you. When you're a king, other kings will give their daughters to you. And that's what they used to do in what they call medieval England to stop wars. Let's say England and France are going to war with each other. The king of France would be like to the king of England, let my son marry your daughter. Then they would trade gifts. And then with that would stop the war. Why? Because they got certain agreements. So they would do those things. Listen, man, we ain't marrying no heathen, man. So we're going to stay at war. You ain't going to phone me and say, listen, man, we need to calm down on the war so let your son marry my heathen. No. We just stay at war.
Right.
We're just going to stay at war. And one of us is going to win the war. And one of us is going to lose the war, man. Go ahead, Kazo.
The woman of the Moabites, Ammonites.
The Moabites, the Chinese, the Ammonites, the Japanese. Some of the damn ugliest people on God's green earth, man. Chinese people, the ugliest people on God's green earth. I don't know what Solomon's seen in them Salaka. Moabite, good night, damn. That's what happens when your vision's clouded by love, man. You start to think Chinese people look good. When nah. They're horrible, man. They're the ugliest people on the face of the earth. Go ahead.
Edomites.
The Edomites.
Zidonians,
African women.
and
Hittites, another tribe of African women.
Of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, you shall not go in.
And when we read further in Deuteronomy 17, the Lord said the king should have this law written down. The king should have these laws written down, and he should meditate on them night and day. And you have to meditate on them night and day. Why? Because if you don't meditate on them night and day, you're going to fall in love with a Moabite, with a Zidonian, with a Hittite, concerning the nations the Lord said not to go into. You need to read that Deuteronomy 7 every day. If you're a king and you're a teacher of the law, you're meant to have a copy of the law, and you're meant to live by it, man, so you don't break these laws. Because what will happen? People under you will see, well, he's got a heathen wife, so let me get one. He likes Chinese women. Let me go to Chinatown and get me a Chinese woman. Let me go to Alan Rock and get me an East Indian woman. Let me go to one of these African clubs and get me an African woman. The people under Solomon would see that and say, well, he did it and he's the king. Let us do it too. So you as the king is supposed to set an example. The leaders of England, they don't set examples. That's the point I'm getting at. They set no examples whatsoever. And we ain't supposed to follow them. Why? Based on their race. And we ain't supposed to follow them. Why? Because they ain't of the bloodline of us. We just let them do how they're doing. And we follow who? Commanding Rihanna, man. That's who we follow, man. Who? Why? Because he serves Jesus Christ. That's in the scriptures. People might say, oh, it sounds like worship. You know what, Rawatas, I'll hold that, but give me 1 Corinthians 11 and 1. Hold on, let me see if that's the right one.
Oh.
People say, why are you following a man? It sounds like worship. We're going to show you that is in the Bible. I believe it's 1 Corinthians 11 and 1. Yeah, there you go.
First Corinthians chapter 11, verse 1. Be ye followers of me, be ye followers of me.
This is a man talking. A man said, be ye followers of me. Go ahead.
Even as I also am of Christ.
And he said, even as I am also of Christ. Paul said, be ye followers of me, even as I am also of Christ. And we follow commanding Jeremiah. Why? Because he follows Christ, man. And it's in the Bible. Paul said the same thing. So people say, man, worship. It's in the Bible, man. If you knew these records, you would know that you had to follow a man. They had to follow Moses. After Moses, they had to follow Joshua. There's always a man in charge, man. take me back to Quatzal, where was here?
First Kings 11.
Yeah, go ahead.
Of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go in unto them, neither shall they come in unto you.
And listen, we was meant to have no covenant with them, no agreement with them. What you meant to do with these other nations is just business, just trade. You just buy stuff off them, they buy stuff off you. That's as far as it goes, trade, and then that's it. Just business, just commerce. We ain't supposed to be all tight with them. We ain't supposed to be marrying them. We ain't supposed to be advertising our sons and daughters, saying, yeah, let them marry one of your sons and daughters. No. There's supposed to be a line in the middle, and you draw that line after business, man. After business, that's where you draw the line. Go ahead.
For surely they will turn away your heart.
For surely they will what?
Turn away your heart.
For surely they will turn away your heart. And people read this and say, nah, man, I'm strong-minded. A heathen woman ain't going to turn away my heart. They're going to turn away your heart, man.
Right.
They're going to turn away your heart. When they start saying, come and worship Krishna, come to the temple, they're going to make you fall in love with them. They're going to say, if you don't come to the temple and serve Krishna and Guru Nanak today, this marriage is over. You're going to go to that temple, man. You're going to take your shoes off. You're going to wash your feet in the basin like what they do. Did they ever take you on them school trips to the temple, into the school? You go there, you take your shoes off, you wash your feet in the basin, and they make you sit on the floor. Listen, man, you're going to be doing all of that. You're going to be the only black man sitting in the temple that day. You're going to be the only black man sitting in the temple, not understanding the language, man. You ain't going to be understanding the Urdu or whatever it is to speak, the Military or whatever it is to speak. You're going to be sitting there not understanding it, but you're going to be doing this because your heart's been turned away and your wife made your heart get turned away from you serving the Lord. Stay away from them, man. And you stay in the laws of the Lord so you don't be the next man sitting in the Indian temple trying to understand the language that you was never made to understand. These are dancing, doing the light bulb dance like this, and you as a black man, you ain't got no idea what you're doing. You know how stupid you're going to look trying to do their dances, trying to dress like them, trying to be like them. Don't do that to yourself, man. Do not do that to yourself. I read on quite as well.
But surely they will turn away your heart after their gods.
For surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. There you have it, man. That's what happened to Solomon. Read on.
Solomon clave unto these in love.
In what?
In love.
In what?
In love.
So in the beginning, he would have thought, you know what? Nah, I'm not going to serve their gods. And then once you love them, listen, understand this. Once you love someone, they kind of have control over you, man. You better make sure you give your heart to the right person.
Right.
If you give your heart to the wrong person and you cleave onto the wrong person in love, they have mind control over you, man.
Right.
And they're going to have you doing all the wrong things. You can't just be loving everyone. Because if you give your heart to someone who don't serve the Lord, they're going to have you doing all sorts of things. Do you know how much women say, oh, because I loved him, I done this? Do you know how much men say, oh, because I loved her, I done this? Love is a serious thing, and you need to be careful who you're giving your heart to, because love can have you messed up for life, man. Love can have you sitting in the Indian temple. Love can have you sitting in the mosque. Love can have you jump off a bridge. Love can have you commit suicide, man, because you love a person so much. Be careful who you give your heart to. Be very careful, man. Love is a serious thing. Go ahead, Quatzal.
And he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines. And his wives turned away his heart.
And his what?
His wives turned away his heart.
And that's what it says that in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17. His wives turned away his heart. Read on.
For it came to pass, when Solomon was old, that his wives turned away his heart after other.
And listen, when you get old, imagine this. You're a man, you get old. You got your wife. You love her. And she starts to manipulate you, man. Well, if you don't do this, I'm going to leave you. If you don't do that, I'm going to leave you. If you don't do this, it's over. And then you feel what? Compelled to do everything she says. You feel compelled to do everything she says, or she's going to leave you. And you're thinking, well, I love her. Let me do it for her because I love her. And they turn away your heart, and you then turn away from serving the Lord. And your aim becomes to please this woman. Your aim then becomes to please this man. And you turn away from following the Lord. and now you're doing all manner of evil, and you don't even notice it. In your mind, you're not seeing the evil you're doing to the Lord, but all you're seeing is showing how much you love your partner who's got you going against the Lord. You're not thinking about the Lord and what the Lord's thinking. You're just thinking about pleasing your partner, and that's the way it happens, man. Read on Qatazar. Anyone that is that about it?
Yeah. And his heart was not perfect with the Lord.
And his heart wasn't perfect with the Lord, his God. Why? Because he's building statues and idols and places of worship for his wives' gods. Go ahead.
As was the heart of David.
As was the heart of his father David. David's heart was perfect with the Lord. But obviously Solomon, towards the end of his life, started doing the wrong things. But with that, we can drop that. Take me, you know what? Give me Ruwatazar, drop that one. Give me 1 Samuel chapter 15 and verse 1.
What was it? 1 Samuel?
Chapter 15 and verse 1.
Cancer. 1 Samuel chapter 15 verse 1. Samuel also said unto Saul, the Lord sent me to anoint thee to be king over his people, over Israel. Now therefore hearken thou unto the voice of the words of the Lord.
And now Saul was what? King over Israel. And Samuel anointed him. I said, listen, hearken to the words of the Lord. He said, listen to the words of the Lord, man. Because that's what kings are supposed to do. Listen to the words of the Lord. They're meant to live in that law day and night, man. They're meant to abide by that law. Hold on one second. Let me just see what part I want. For time's sake, hold on. Yeah, jump to verse 11. So now what Saul was meant to do, Saul was meant to destroy the king of Amalek, and was meant to destroy the cattle and the ox and so forth. He was meant to obey the voice of the Lord and do those things. He didn't do it. He said, you know what, we're going to keep we're going to keep their oxen and so forth. And he spared the king. So read from verse 11.
Canada. Verse 11. It repented me that I have set up Saul to be king, for he has turned back from following me, and had not performed my commandments.
And now the Lord said, it's repent of me from making Saul king. Why? Because he didn't follow my commandments. So in order for you to rule over the Lord's people, you have to keep his commandments, man. Saul was meant to serve the Lord in the midst of all the people. He's meant to obey the Lord, the words of the Lord. Saul didn't do it. And he repented the Lord that what? He made Saul king, man. And listen, you shouldn't follow your pastor. Your pastor is worse than Saul, if not as bad. Your pastor is worse than Saul. They lead black people astray every single day. And they know what they're doing is wrong. They know what they're supposed to do, and they don't do it. But they lead black people astray. The Christian church is the reason why black people's in the position that we're in. They're the reason why black people is on drugs, killing one another. Why? Because the church lies to us. We go to the church, and it's just one musical, man. The church is just a musical. All the churches is a musical, a soft music of pianos and all of those things. It's just a soft musical. And the Lord said repenting that he had made Saul king. Read on.
Canada. And it grieved Samuel, and he cried unto the Lord all night. Verse 12. And when Samuel rose early to meet Saul in the morning, it was told Samuel, saying, Saul came to Carmel, and behold, he set him up a place, and is gone about, and passed on, and gone down to Gilgal. Verse 13. And Samuel came to Saul, and Saul said unto him, Blessed be thou of the Lord. I have performed the commandment of the Lord. Verse 14. And Samuel said, What meaneth then this bleating of the sheep in mine ears?
So now,
And
Saul was meant to kill the sheep and stuff, and Samuel's there, and Samuel's saying, yo, what's this meaning? I can hear the sheep, I can hear sheep and all this stuff. Go ahead.
Cancer. And the lowing of the oxen which I hear.
And he had the oxen as well, the oxen that he was supposed to kill. He can hear these animals. Samuel's thinking these animals are supposed to be dead, but Saul spared them. So Samuel's asking, yo, why can they hear the oxen and the sheep? Go ahead.
Another one. Verse 15. And Saul said, they have brought them from the Amalekites, for the people spared the best of the sheep and of the oxen, the sacrifice unto the Lord thy God, and the rest we have utterly destroyed. Verse 16. Then Samuel said unto Saul, stay, and I will tell thee what the Lord had said to me.
1 second, let me just see if hold on. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me find out. Hold on. What? Jump to verse 19.
Answer. Verse 19. Wherefore then didst thou not obey the voice of the Lord, but didst fly upon the spoil, and didst evil in the sight of the Lord? Verse 20. And Saul said unto Samuel, Yea, I have obeyed the voice of the Lord, and have gone the way which the Lord sent me, and have brought Agag the king of Amalek, and have utterly destroyed the Amalekites.
So now Saul's saying this is what happened. Basically, Saul was meant to destroy everything. He didn't do it. Go ahead.
Verse 21. But the people took off the spoil, sheep and oxen.
You know what? Jump to verse 24 for time's sake.
Canada. Verse 24. And Saul said unto Samuel, I have sinned, for I have transgressed the commandments of the Lord and thy word.
Saul's acknowledging he messed up. I have sinned. I've transgressed the commandments of the Lord. Go ahead.
And thy words, because I feared the people and obeyed their voice.
Listen, man, if you're going to be in charge of black people, you can't fear the people, because they're going to listen. Aaron feared the people and made the golden calf, man. He should have learned from that. Aaron feared the people and made the golden calf. He said, I transgressed the Lord because I feared the people. Quasar, get me Galatians chapter 1 and verse 6. Quasar. Hold on, let me get it. Give me 1 second. The book of Galatians, chapter 1 and verse 6. Hold on, which verse did I want? So now, verse 9, Galatians chapter 1 and verse 9 says, as we said before, so say I now again, if any man preach any other gospel unto you that ye have received, let him be accursed. For do I now persuade men or God, or do I seek to please men? For if I yet please men, I should not be the servant of Christ. And listen, man, people want us to please men, but we ain't going to please men. We're going to please God, man. And when you set a king over you, you need to find someone that is not going to be a man pleaser, that is not going to please men. He has to please God. He has to stand in the sight of all the people and tell them what they don't want to hear. He has to stand in the midst of them and tell them what they don't want to hear. The thing is this, your Christian church, they please man and not God. So they allow you to eat pork. They allow you to do whatever's pleasing to man, they will do. But whatever's pleasing to God, they don't do. Because sometimes you have to go against man and stand for what God wants, man. This world doesn't understand that. And this is why people hate us in the ISUPK. Why? Because we stand for the Lord, man. We don't please man. We don't change the doctrine to suit whatever man wants it to be. This is why in here you don't see no Edomites sitting in this classroom, man. Because we don't please man. The GOCC would rather please man than please God. That's why their seats is full of other nations. In here we don't have that, man. IUIC would rather please man than please God. That's why their seats is full of Hamites. We don't have that in here, man. We would rather this classroom be empty than have a Adam Hamite in here. We would rather this classroom be empty than have a Hamite in here, man. Quasar, get me Acts chapter 5 and verse 29. Let me get a next one about being a man pleaser.
Acts chapter 9, okay, chapter 5 and verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men.
We what?
We ought to obey God rather than men.
We ought to obey God rather than men. And the thing is this, these prime ministers and all these people that you set over you, they obey men over God. The church that you go to, they obey men over God. And in the ISUPK, we obey God over men. And this is why we hated by so many people. Why? Because we won't bend, we won't fold, we're not going to compromise. We're going to teach this same doctrine we've been teaching from 1969, man.
That's right.
Why? Because we're going to obey God and not men. Men would love us to change what we teach, man. Men would love us to change this doctrine and start teaching everybody can come in. They would love us to change this doctrine and start teaching weed comes from the earth, you can smoke it. They would love us to change that, man. If we said that to half the people out there, guess what? This classroom would be full. But we ain't going to obey, man. Read that one more time, Pastor.
Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than man.
Listen, man. We ought to obey God rather than man. Give me one more, man, please, and give me John chapter 12 and verse 42. Let's get the book of John chapter 12 and verse 42. Here we go. You got it? Yeah, all right, go ahead.
John chapter 12 and verse 42. Nevertheless, among the chief rulers, also many believed on him, but because of the Pharisees, they did not confess him.
Imagine this. Many believed on Christ, but because of man, they didn't confess him, man. Listen, man, you believe in Christ, you confess him in front of these men.
That's right.
Don't care. Who cares about what these men think? Who cares about what these men think? You listen, you believe in Christ, you confess him, man. Who cares about what these men think?
Right.
These men is going to die if they don't confess him. Imagine this, you're following people who is going to die one day for breaking God's laws.
Right.
You're giving them too much credit and too much respect. Man, let them say whatever they want. Let them feel how they want to feel. Let them feel that you're in a cult and you've gone crazy and you're out your mind. They can feel like that, man. But the thing is this, they're going to realize that they're the ones out their mind.
Right.
When that day when Christ returns and you're fighting with him, man. When you're with him, you're serving him. When their life's messed up, when they're seeing their loved ones die, when they're when they're on drugs and all of them things, in and out of mental institutions and all these places. Listen, man, they're gonna look at you and say, you know what? You was right from 10 years ago. You was right from 15 years ago. Don't do nothing to please them. Don't be around your friends who smoke weed and you start to smoke weed to impress them. You tell them, I'm gonna serve the Lord, man.
Right.
You say, I'm not gonna do that, man. I'm not gonna give myself cancer. I'm not gonna make myself a schizophrenic, man. You can read all these things on the NHS website. The NHS website tells you the dangers of marijuana. But what happens? People still smoke marijuana, man.
Right.
Why? Because in their mind it feels good. It eases me. It relaxes me. Listen, man. People ask you, oh, I need £20 till tomorrow. The reason they need that £20 is for weed, man.
Right.
You need that I need £20 till tomorrow. What do you need it for? I need to buy weed. I need a spliff. I need a draw. That's the people who's out their mind, man. Not you. You're in your right mind and they're out their mind. Did you read all of that as the morning? Yeah, go ahead.
Lest they should be put out the synagogue.
So now they was being man pleasers because they didn't want to get put out of the synagogue. Your pastor is a man pleaser. Why? Because he don't want to lose his church. He don't want to lose his members. He don't want to lose that money. So he's a man pleaser. So he knows what he's doing goes against God. He knows what he's doing ain't pleasing to God, but it's pleasing to man. And he feared man, same how Saul feared man. And that's why Saul went against the Lord. Why? Because he wanted to be a man pleaser like your pastor. The same thing your pastor did, Saul did. Read that part for me one more time, Rawatazar, in the book of Samuel.
Cancer.
I was getting Luke 16 verse 15.
En Slakia. And Saul said unto Samuel, I have sinned, for I have transgressed the commandment of the Lord and thy words, because I feared the people and obeyed their voice.
And he said, because I feared the people and obeyed their voice, man. And we just went over some scriptures where it says we ought to listen to God rather than men. Listen, man, in order for you to rule over, especially a nation of Israelites, man, you have to be strong, man. You have to not fold and not bend, because they will wipe the floor with you. You have to make your face harder than theirs. You have to tell them, like, oh, that's not happening. Not under my reign and my rulership, man. That's not happening, man. You have to be stern. Because why? These people will have you make a golden calf. Right. These people will have you make a golden calf and dance around it. These people will tell you what they're going to do. And you need to tell them no. Even if they all turn against you, so what? If you serve the Lord, you'll be all right. But if you disobey the Lord and serve the people who's going against the Lord, you're all going to die together, man. Give me that precept as well that you was at.
Luke chapter 16 and verse 15. And he said unto them, ye are they which justify yourself before men.
These people justify themselves before men. Like they want to please man so much that whatever they say they will do. They want to please the popular consensus. They want to please the bulk of the people. Why? Because they don't want to be hated. They don't want to be looked down upon. In here, you bring the hatred, man. You bring it. Because we ain't gonna bend. We ain't gonna fold, man. You see them camp videos in the middle of the city, everyone against us. We don't back down, man. We tell you your religion's garbage. We tell you this, your religion's garbage, and we ain't following this nonsense. We tell you to your face, man. We don't hide it. You know what we believe, man. Whereas everybody else would rather justify themselves against men. Oh, you Arabs, we don't hate you Arabs. We love you Arabs because you see, we kind of the same and we go through the same things. And our God and your God, it's the same God, just a different name. Nah, we ain't doing that bullshit, Salaka. We ain't doing that bullshit. We ain't justifying nothing to please you, man. We ain't trying to please you. We're going to tell you your God is false. He's an idol. And we have the one true living God. And if you don't like it, you're going to have to do something about it, man. Right. If you don't like it, you're going to have to do something about it.
That's right.
We ain't going to be doing all this nonsense with you, trying to make you feel better. Because me and you are kind of the same, and we have an understanding. No. Me and no heathen don't have no understanding. We have no understanding. I don't care if your people went into slavery as well. We have no understanding, man. I don't care if the devil oppresses you. We have no understanding, man. What you can do for me is put some money in the bucket. That's it. What you can do for me is put some money in the bucket. So after Camp, me and Quatazar can have a KFC on you. That's it. Me, Quatazar and Quatazar can get ourselves a nice KFC with a large drink on you, man. That's all you can do for us. There you go. Get a Toro or something. You just put money in the bucket. Outside of that, you can't help us, man. The only thing me and you can communicate over is you putting a £20 note in that bucket, man. Put 5 of them in that bucket. You put £100 in that bucket, man. That's it. Ain't gonna be. There's nothing else for us to speak about. The only thing you can do for black people is give them all your riches, man. You give all your money to the ISUPK. That's what you do. You give all your money to the ISUPK, and you acknowledge that you're a filthy nation that's abused black people and that's came up and beat the backs of black people and apologize. On every £20 note, you write "I'm sorry" on there. Don't write us a letter saying you're sorry. We want that letter written on a £20 note. So we can just turn it the other way and spend it. We ain't even gonna read it. We're just gonna spend it. You sorry should come with a donation. We don't want just a plain piece of paper. We accept apologies with donations. Lucky. There you go. Go ahead.
But God knoweth your hearts, for that which is highly esteemed among men is abomination.
And that which is highly esteemed amongst men is an abomination to God. So the things that this world thinks is good and pleasing, that you're going to bend over and do, it's an abomination to God. You're meant to say to the people, I'm serving the Lord and I'm not going to give into your commands. I'm not going to disobey the Lord for you. You should say the same thing when your woman tells you celebrate Christmas, man. When your woman tells you celebrate birthdays. When your woman tells you it's just Christmas. It's just a present for the kids. It's Christmas. Look how cute our daughter is. Let's just get her a present. She's crying and she wants a Barbie dollhouse. Let's get her one for Christmas. She can have that any other time of the year, man. You don't need to follow these oppressors and celebrate Christmas and all this garbage. But drop that. Where was we?
1 Samuel chapter 15 verse 25, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Come, sir. Now therefore I pray thee, pardon my sin, and turn again with me, that I may worship the Lord. Verse 26. And Samuel said unto Saul, I will not return with thee, for thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, and the Lord hath rejected thee from being king over Israel.
He rejected the word of the Lord because he wanted to please the people. And now the Lord's rejecting him. And guess what? The people ain't helping him. The people that he dissed the Lord for, they wasn't there helping him. Imagine this. You diss the Lord for people that's not going to help you, man. You diss the Lord for people that ain't going to help you or care about you or nothing. Listen, man, you better serve the Lord. Don't diss the Lord for nobody, man. Because when the Lord rejects you, then people also reject you. Those people that you thought you was helping, now you're out here, no help whatsoever. Yeah, that's it on that. You know what? For time's sake, I'll quickly go into the gas price, the energy prices. So we're going to screen share this article. We're going to go into the energy prices. Hold on. All right. So this says the new cap will be in effect from October 1st. What's the date today, Quatzar?
September the 7th.
September the 7th. Listen, man. Them energy bill prices is going up. Get me Quatzar. We can't even buy FIFA this year. FIFA comes out September 30th this year. FIFA comes out September 30th. And the gas prices go up the next day. So Quatzar, what are we going to do? We're going to pay the energy bills, or we're going to freeze while playing FIFA. Which one are we going to do? You have to play them old games and with the heating on. Or what you can do is sacrifice the heating for FIFA. Which one we're doing, Quatzar? I don't know. You might have to freeze and play FIFA, you know, I don't know. Might have to freeze and play FIFA 20. Then again, you know what? With FIFA, have you seen that Mbappe's dating a man? What? Listen, lucky. Hold on. Let me find it. Let me find it.
No way. I can't believe it.
No word of a lie.
He was openly dating her as well.
It was exactly. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Mbappe Mbappe transgender. Hold on. No, hold on. Listen, we're gonna listen. We have to go. Listen. Let me just drop this energy bills. Let me drop this energy bills on for a while. Let me stop sharing. Let me get. Mbappe is reportedly dating. Look. You think it's like, listen. Why is this article missing? Hold on. Says Mbappe is reportedly dating the first transgender model to star on the Playboy cover. Mbappe is dating a transgender, you know. Look, that's a man right there. It's a boy. Mbappe is dating a boy. Mbappe, man, is dating a boy. Imagine that. Mbappe don't just like footballs, Salakia. Mbappe don't only like footballs, man. Mbappe likes more than just footballs, man. Footballs is the disguise, man. He likes men's balls as well, Salakia, man. Mbappe is dating a man. I need to find a way to delete him off FIFA 23, man. If he comes on the cover of FIFA 23, I don't want the cover. That's it. I'm gonna get some permanent marker. I'm covering the cover, man. Let me go back to it. This is a man that Mbappe is holding. Listen, imagine this. You filthy rich like that, and you can probably have all these women falling at your feet, and you go and get a man that's dressed as a woman. You get a man. Listen. Says PSG star Kylian Mbappe is reportedly dating Ainge Rowe, who's the first transgender model to appear on the Playboy cover. Says, according to Italian news outlet, Mbappe was seen at the Cannes Film Festival in Rome, was later pictured carrying on a luxury yacht. Rome made the first appearance in Playboy back in 2014 and became the first trans. That's disgusting, man. Imagine this. They got men on women's magazine covers. Listen, man. This world has to go, man. This world needs to be purged with fire, man. It needs to be purged with fire. Why? To get rid of all this nastiness that's going on in it, man. If Mbappe is on there, I'm throwing my FIFA 23 in the fire as well, man. Listen, they're talking about gas and energy bills and we can't afford the heating. The Lord's going to heat up this place, man. He's going to heat up this place with thermonuclear fire, man. Because Mbappe wants to be having sex with men. Men want to be dressing up as women. This place, energy bills might be costing money. The Lord's going to send fire for free, man. The Lord is going to send fire for free. Exactly, you're going to get free gas and you're going to be burnt up in it, man. You're going to be burnt up in it. You're crying about the gas prices. If you don't change your life, the Lord is going to send you more than gas, man. And he's going to send you fire and brimstone, man. You better change your life. You're going to be burning and you're going to look to the left and you're going to see Mbappe with a man. You're going to see Mbappe burning next to Mbappe and a man. Listen, man, you better change your life. You're going to be in that fire. You're going to look left, looking around, seeing who else is there. You're going to be like, Mbappe, what are you doing here? You're going to look, you're the transgender. You're going to know why Mbappe is there. You're going to know what Mbappe is doing there. So it's roasted in the previous interview. You know, I don't want to read no more. So lucky, let me drop this. There you go. Let me get back to my energy saving. Let me get back to my energy saving. Yeah, exactly. Mbappe can't be doing them things, man. The whole man.
Slaki, if I may, sir.
Go ahead.
Is Mbappe, is he an Israelite or?
I believe he's a Hamite. Yeah, he's a Hamite.
Gone, sir.
But while it is, because brothers worship him so much, so they look at him like Mbappe is black and we black. So sometimes we have to just all them the Hamite stories. We have to run with them, just so our people know this. Don't be doing them kind of things. But Mbappe is disgusting, man. He used to be a good footballer before this, but now listen, man. Someone needs to slide tackle him on the pitch, to slide tackle him, give him one of them double leg tackles, just injure him so we don't have to see him for a while, man. This man's lying down with him, man. Let's get to these energy bills. It says the new cap will be in effect from October 1st to the end of the year, after which it is expected to rise. Listen, man. It's going to be, there's a cap on it for 1 year, and then the energy bills is going to go up again. There's a cap on it for a year, and the price is going to go up again, man. That's it. It says the new cap will be in effect from October 1st to the end of the year, after which it is expected to rise further. The government is under pressure to announce greater support for households and a wide-ranging plan to oversee the energy supply industry through a time of crisis. However, the candidates to be the new prime minister have said a comprehensive strategy needs to wait until after the leadership election on September 5th. Hold on. So it says London, Britain's energy regulator announced Friday it will raise its main cap on consumer energy bills to an average £3,549 from £1,971 a year. So it's rising. It's almost doubling in price. It's going to £3,549. That's it. Car insurance will only set you back like $1,500 and paying that a month is how much. So hold on. Let me get my calculator out. Let me calculate how much you're going to be paying a month on gas and electric. 3,549 divided by 12. See, you're paying £295 a month, man. £295 a month. Let's see how much it was before. Remember 295, all right? So 1971 divided by 12 was 164. Was 164 pounds 25 pence. What was the price they gave you? 295. 295. Take away 164. So now a month, you're paying an extra £131. Imagine you're almost paying double what you was paying a month. England have put all the prices up, man. And this winter, people are panicking, saying they're not going to be able to survive. Man. They're saying they're not going to be able to survive. Why? Because the price of everything is going up, man. Which is why we need to stick together now more than ever, man. We need to stick together now more than ever. The same black people you've been running from, you're going to have to join, man. Listen, man. The same black people you've been running from, you're going to have to join. You women that wanted to be single, you're about to have a cold winter, man. You kick that man out the house, you're about to have a freezing cold winter. Maybe you might want to stay with that man. Maybe you might want to stay with that man because these gas prices is about to go through the roof. And you're going to be freezing at night. You're going to be, listen, man, you're going to be wrapped up in that bed cold, man. Listen, you're going to wish you stayed with that man. You're going to wish that man was in the bed with you at night, man, so that body heat can keep you warm, man. Listen, this winter, we're going to be surviving off body heat, man. You better stay with that man. Don't listen to this devil that told you get rid of you, man. Told you you can do whatever you want. This devil told you get rid of you, man. And you listened to him, and you got rid of you, man. And now these energy prices is gone through the roof, man. Give me Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and verse 11.
Cancer.
Listen, man, I'm going to show you that's in the Bible, man. I'm going to show
Ecclesiastes.
you. Yeah, go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verse 11, sir.
Yeah, come.
Cancer. Verse 11. Again, if two lie together, then they have heat. But how can one be warm?
If two lie together, they have a heat, man. You women better get with a black man, man. These energy prices is the Lord saying get with a black man, man. These energy prices is saying your bed's gonna be cold at night, and we've done the maths, and the price is through the roof. That black man is a free heater, man. You get with that black man, he's a Calagas, man. He's a Calagas heater, man. Let me put you up a picture of a Calagas heater, man. They don't know about the Calagas, you know, quatters are. Let me pull a picture of a Calagas heater. Let me find that image. Listen, I'm gonna show you a picture. Listen, man. Let me show you. Let me remove this one. You better get with a black man. Listen. Rawatazar, read that precept one more time.
Canada. Again, if two lie together, then they have heat. But how can one be warm alone?
Two lie together, man. Listen, man. In the winter, this is a black man right here, man. You see them tree burners? That's a black man right here, man. Listen, a black man is a Calagas heater in the winter. Listen, man. Yo, you talking about you want to be single? Them gas prices is gonna make you reconsider that, man. Read that. Rawatazar, read that one more time.
Canada can. Again, if two lie together, then they have heat. But how can one be?
Heat, man. Listen, you kick that black man out the house, and these heating prices has gone through the roof. These heating prices is doubled in price. You ain't gonna be able to afford it this winter. You're gonna have a cold winter, man. You better get with that black man, because that black man is a Calagas heater, man. He says it here. This caption is a black man, super warm, portable gas heater. It even says black at the end. That black man is gonna be a Calagas this winter. Listen, man. Yo, you think? Listen, man. This is gonna be us this winter. This heater, you see them tree burners. We're gonna be them tree burners this winter, you know. Listen, I say you get when you kick that black man out the house. I said you can do this all alone until you see them gas prices, until you see them electric prices. Listen, man. You better stop listening to this devil and get with a black man. Right. Read that one more time for them, Rawatazar. Read it for them. Rawatazar, read it for them.
Again, if two lie together, then they have heat.
If two lie together, then they have heat, man. Because it's cold at night, and these prices have gone up, man. And it's about to be a cold winter. So you better make sure that black man that you're with, you wrap up tight. You better wrap up with him tight, man. Because them gas prices is through the roof. And this winter, a black man is going to be a Caligas, man. This is going to be a black man this winter. I read on the waters all.
Got another one. But how can one be warm alone?
But how can one be warm alone? You sisters is going to have a cold winter, man. You single sisters, your winter is going to be cold. You're going to be shivering, man. You're going to be shivering with that little duvet you got, man. That little white, what's the little 4.5 tug? That little 4.5 tug duvet you got. You're going to be freezing, man. You're going to be wrapped up, shivering all night. It's going to be a cold winter, man. But if you had that black man there that you didn't kick out the house because you listened to this devil, you would have warmth, man. Now you're not going to be warm this winter. You're going to be cold, and you can't afford the bills, and you're going to try put on your heater, and the color gas is gone. You're going to try. Say that again. That's what you're going to be taking out them payday loans to pay for the heating, man. Because you don't kick that man out of the house and you listen to this devil. Don't listen to this devil, man. So lucky Quazar, get me Genesis chapter 2 and verse 18. Oh, get that from me, Quazar. Give me Genesis 2:18.
Genesis chapter 2 and verse 18. Genesis chapter 2 and verse 18. And the Lord God said, it is not good that the man should be alone.
And the Lord God said, it's not good that the man should be alone. And the man shouldn't be alone either, man.
Right.
The man shouldn't be alone. The Lord made us women, man. And the Lord said, yo, I'm going to bring Adam a woman. It's not good that he should be alone. And this winter's going to be cold for men too. If you ain't got a rib, it's a cold winter, man.
Right.
Go ahead.
I will make him and help me.
I will make him a what?
A help me.
And a woman is supposed to what? Be a helpmeet to a man.
Right.
She's supposed to be a helpmeet to a man. That man, you meant to love him and help him, meaning you're his helper. Listen, man. This winter, I don't know everybody's circumstances, but it seems like what? One wage ain't gonna cut it. That's why we need to work together, man.
Right.
We need to be together and get things worked out, man. Get things worked out. Make sure we can pay for them bills. Read that one more time, as well.
And the Lord God said, it is not good that the man should be alone.
And listen, man, this winter is so cold, man. We're gonna need what? 2 wages in that household, man.
Right.
Get me quarters off. We're gonna need 2 wages in that household. 2 wages? What does that mean? You women have to get 2 jobs. No, I'm joking, Salaka. I'm joking. Listen, but yo, 1 wage probably ain't gonna cut it this winter. The sisters heard that and logged out. They heard that and logged out, but they're tuning out after hearing that 2 jobs. But 1 wage probably ain't gonna cut it, man. But it means longer hours might have to be done because these devils is increasing the price on everything. They're increasing the price on everything, man. So much that what you're paying almost £300 a month on gas and electric. Last year it was like £120. It's more than doubled now. And they expect people to survive. They put minimum wage up to £9.50. They also put the price up of everything else. They've also put the price up of travel. They put the price up of petrol. Surviving is rough. The price of everything has gone up, man. I read that one more time from the Quatazar.
And the Lord God said, it is not good that the man should be alone.
And the Lord said, it's not good that the man should be alone. And it's not, man. The Lord made a woman for a man. And them women, the Lord made them for you, man. Go ahead. And you sisters, the Lord said, you should be with a man. You ain't supposed to be running around saying I'm single, I'm independent, I'm going to do my own thing, I'm going to do me. You about to freeze this winter, man. Listen, them gas prices kick in from the 1st of October, man. Them gas prices kick in from the 1st of October. You're about to start being cold from the 1st of October, man. The price is going up. You see, if you got the clocking meter, by the time you put your little £20 in, you're on emergency again, man. Right. You remember that? Does yours work like that emergency? I was sick of this, and I had that years ago. I was sick of that. Halfway through the day, the electrics ran out. Halfway through the day, the emergency's gone. Listen, I used to hate that nonsense, man. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. It's not good for that the man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet.
And the Lord made him a helpmeet. And you sisters, you meant to help that man. And that man, what does he offer? Protection, guidance. Now, women moan about, oh, I'm not carrying no nigger, I'm not helping no man. The thing is this, you're going through the wrong type of men. Obviously, if you go for the wrong type of men, it's going to prove you're going to get bad results. So what you need to do is come and sit in this classroom and you will learn how to pick a man. You will learn how to pick a man that's going to love you right. A man that's going to protect you and correct you. A man that's going to teach you how to do things and tell you what to do and what not to do. You need to get with the right man, but you don't know how to. Because why? Women do things very based on what they like at the time. So if they like a man at the time, that's who they will go with. Whereas sometimes what you like is not good for you. I mean, some people like pork, it's not good for you.
Right.
Some people like shrimp, it's not good for you.
Right.
Kylian Mbappe likes men dressed as women, it's not good for you. It's not gonna end right. Some people like the wrong things, man. Based on what you like, ain't always right. This is why you should be in here and you speak to your camp leader and he will know what kind of man you should be with. Because this is about to be a cold winter, man. Rawatazar, give me Genesis chapter 3 and verse 1.
Canada. Genesis chapter 3 and verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the...
This man was the most subtle beast of the field, man. This man was the most subtle beast of the field, meaning this man was slick. What his words sounded nice and sweet. It sounded correct. He would tell you, leave your man. He would tell you, your man's no good for you. Leave him. Go find another one. He will tell you all of this. And then he'll hit you with them gas prices, man. When you leave your man and can't afford it, guess what? You're on your own. He ain't going to help you. He just tells you all of these nice things. He's more subtle than any beast of the field. He gets you to leave your protection, man. He gets you to leave your head. This man is supposed to rule over you. This man gets you to leave all of that. So now you're what? You're like a house which is open to everybody. The thing is, that man is protection. He protects that house, man. Things is gonna get rough soon. Things is gonna get rough. What you would find was happening in Ukraine. The women that had no man. What was these soldiers and so forth? When they was trying to leave the city, they was raping them, man. They was raping them. Why? Because they didn't have no man to protect them. If you're a sister, you need a man to protect you, man.
Right.
You need a man to protect you. You need a man to guide you and protect you. Stop listening to the internet. Stop listening to Boris Johnson and Instagram. Stop listening to these influencers. These influencers will tell you don't need a man. But really, they've got their man in secret, man. They tell you don't need a man. But every last one of these influencers have a man somewhere. Exactly. Beyonce will tell you, you tell your man to the left. Meanwhile, she's with Jay-Z. Jay-Z putting on twins inside her, man. Jay-Z putting on twins inside her while you're in bed lonely and cold because you listen to Beyonce, because you listen to Rihanna. You're in bed lonely and cold. Stop listening to these celebrities, man. These celebrities don't speak on behalf of black people. All they do is make music. Once that music turns off, there's nothing else they can give to you. Once you finish singing and dancing, listen, music is just for singing and dancing. Whatever they say, don't take it literal. Don't listen to the words. You're just meant to dance to it. And at the end of that, that's all they can do for you. You thinking you're going to get morals from a celebrity. It's not going to work, man. You thinking you're going to get counseling and advice from a celebrity. It's not going to work. These celebrities ain't spokesmen for black people. They don't speak on behalf of black people, man. Because when they do try and speak on behalf of black people, what do? They speak nonsense. They speak rubbish. And everything they say makes no sense, man. It makes no sense whatsoever. Read on.
Cancer. And he said unto the woman, Yea, had God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? Verse 2.
And now this man was subtle. The Lord told them, look, don't do this, don't learn from this, don't learn from that. But that you can indulge in this, don't indulge in these things. So she's relaying this to the serpent, who was a man, by the way. People think the serpent was actually a snake. The serpent was a man. It's like today when we call a man a rat. If a man's a snitch, we call him a rat. if a man's two-faced or whatever, we call him a snake. If someone's fake, we call him a snake. So this man was just a snake. He was fake. He was two-faced. He was slick. He was sly. So that's what they called him, a serpent. But people read serpent and think it was a literal snake. Why? Because of Christianity. So people make out like there was a man butt naked in the garden. People make out like there was Adam that was butt naked in the garden around animals. So they make out Adam was completely butt naked, no clothes on, around animals, with a penis just around the animals. And the Lord said to him one day, okay, let me get him a woman. Then there was a man and woman butt naked around animals. One day they ate an apple and they seen each other naked and they was ashamed. That don't make no sense, man. That's Christianity for you. Listen, man, if she's his wife, why would he care about being naked in front of her, man? Listen, man, don't listen to Christianity. Christians make everything gay. So what? Adam didn't want to look at his wife naked. You're meant to look at your wife naked, man. It's your wife. It's your wife, man.
Right.
You're meant to look at her, man, and say, yo, you might have to be half an hour late for work today. So lucky. You're meant to look at her and say, yo, you're meant to say, yo, you might have to be half an hour late for work today. Not run away and hide. But according to Christianity, they make everything sound gay, man.
Right.
They twist the whole Bible, and it makes no sense when they break it down. But drop that. We covered the main part on that about the help me and this man being more slick. Give me Matthew chapter 24 and verse 32.
Chapter 24, sir.
Yeah, come Matthew 24 and verse 32.
Matthew chapter 24, verse 32. Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When its branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh.
Now, you know these things like with trees, once the leaves start to grow on the trees, usually it's around April, May time, because in the winter they all die and the roads covered with dead leaves. The roads, everywhere's got dead leaves. If there's trees outside your house, you'll see it, just dead leaves everywhere. In the summer, it starts to grow back. So you know it's coming to summer based on the season and based on the leaves growing on the tree. So it's given a parable saying that we should know these seasons now also of what's happening. Like we should see certain things happening and we should know when the Lord is nigh and when we close to the end, so forth, because there's certain signs. Saying like, summer's near based off the signs. Go ahead.
Canada. So likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors.
When you shall see these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. Go ahead.
Verse 34. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled.
I was going to let you know some of these things which is going to be fulfilled. Go ahead.
Verse 35. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away.
So heaven and earth shall pass away, meaning that don't mean the landmass that we're standing on is going to pass away. It don't mean that the sky is going to pass away. The heaven and earth is what? The positions. The position meaning what? Who's the heaven at the moment? This oppressor. Who's the earth at the moment? Us. These things is going to pass away. Why? Because positions is going to change. It tells you that that the heaven shall become the earth, and the earth shall, something like that. I'm paraphrasing. It's in Revelations, I believe 19 or somewhere. But I'll go ahead.
Verse 36. But of that day and hour knoweth no man.
So after that day and hour when it's going to happen, no man don't know when it's going to happen. But what we do know, the signs which is leading to these things, and the way how England's crumbling, this is a sign that what? Our salvation is close, man. Us being saved out of this horrible lifestyle and this disgusting place is close, based on how England is falling and crumbling and how all the kings of the earth can't get it together and how all the so-called kings of the earth are getting ready to go to war and how they hate each other, how there's wars, there's rumors of wars. These are the signs that we should be seeing. But we don't want to see these signs. We would rather be in the club with a bottle of Hennessy, Would rather be in the club with a bottle of John Julio 1942 or whatever the hell it is. We would rather be doing that. We would rather be doing them things. Now, can you go to the club? Of course you can. But damn, you being in the club every week and not serving the Lord is no, you can't. You selling weed or you selling weed all week to go to the club to buy bottles. That's what you shouldn't be doing. Now, if you're a righteous man that wants to go to the club and wants to buy a bottle, you can do that, man. There's no crime in it. There's no sin in it. This is more for sinners who just think life's about just one big party. Life's about having fun. Life's about fulfilling your pleasures. Listen, man, the signs is here letting you know that what? Christ is returning soon, based on the living conditions, based on how life is, based on the kings of the earth falling and all of these things. What you see is they're all falling from grace right now, man. They're all crumbling. They can't afford nothing. They're going into recession. The banks is closing down. There's not enough housing. There's not enough this. There's not enough that. They're saying that they're going to experience famine if there's no rain, all of these kind of things. Half of Pakistan's underwater, all of these kind of things, man. These floods, these earthquakes, these rumors of floods, all of these things is taking place in the earth, man. And these is signs that what? The end is coming. Read on.
Cancer. But as that day and hour know no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only.
Go ahead.
Verse 37. But as the days of nowhere, but as the days of nowhere, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving.
The days that were before the flood, there was eating, there was drinking, there was partying. So they was living their best life. You see that how people's living their best life today? You got women going laundry parties in their underwear, man, living their best life until Christ throws a one missile down, man. Throws a one missile down at the laundry party, man. You better put some clothes on, man. You thinking walking around half naked at these parties and being drunk out your mind and going home with this man and doing all of these kind of things and living a sinner's life, it's not going to get you far, man. Because this earth is going to be destroyed with nuclear fire, man. It's going to be cleansed. Either you're going to cleanse yourself and change your life, or you're going to be cleansed with fire, man. And you're going to come back as a baby in the kingdom, man. You're going to come back as a baby if you don't change your life. You're going to die a horrible death. It's not going to be a nice death, man. Whereas you could serve the Lord and live. Everything you're doing now is temporary. Everything you're doing now has an expiration date and it's going to come to an end. Don't think the pleasure you do right now, you're going to be living like that forever, because you're not going to, man. It's coming to an end very soon. Go ahead.
Counsel. Marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark. Verse 39.
Until the day that Noah entered into the ark. Until the day that Noah entered into the ark, man. They was sinning, living their best life until it started to rain. And there's Noah on the ark. And all of them is looking up. They didn't want their Hennessy bottle couldn't save them that day, man. These laundry parties couldn't save them that day, man. These little Jamaican flyers where they put models on the flyer and you go to the party and none of them look like that. Couldn't save them that day, man. It couldn't save them on that day. You've seen the flyers in the quarters are they got models on the flyer. When you go to the Jamaican parties and none of them look like the damn models on the flyer. All of them they're looking like the health advisor from the woman that we showed earlier. In real life, that's what they're looking like, that the health secretary. That's what they're all looking like in there, just a black version. Trying to lie on trying to deceive people with the flyer. That couldn't save them in that day, man. People was partying and living their best life until they entered into the ark. Go ahead.
Verse 39. And knew not until the flood came.
Knew not until the flood came, and the flood is going to come again, man. And if you don't change your life, you're going to get taken away with that flood, which is going to be fire and brimstone. Go ahead.
And took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
And listen, the coming of the Son of Man is going to be the same. Just like that flood came, no one knew it was coming until it came. The Son of Man is coming that same way. You ain't going to know when it's coming. He's just going to come when you least expect it, while you're partying and drinking. Read on.
Cancer. Then shall two be in the field. The one shall be taken and the other left. Two women shall be grinding at the mill. The one shall be taken and the other left.
Listen,
What?
one's gonna go up on them chariots, one's not. That's basically what it's giving you. So if you read on the rest of that, that's what it's saying. And before we close out, sister, the question she said, Shalom Salakia, there are women whose husbands have died or left, etc. Can they still make it to the kingdom without a head? Of course, women can make it to the kingdom if they're not married. Like, they don't have to be married. There's some women who would rather remain unmarried. So the sisters who don't want to get married, but what you have to do to make it, you have to serve the Lord. That's what you have to do. You have to serve the Lord, and you have to make your election sure. The way how you make your election sure is by being in the ISUPK. You make your election sure. You come in here and you just do everything your camp leader tells you to do. Now, if you don't want to be married, that's fine. You don't have to. But who will be the head over you? Your camp leader or so forth. And then they will guide you on what to do and what not to do. But yeah, a sister can make it to the kingdom without being married. There's some women out there who don't want to be married, and that's fine. So there's some men out there who don't want to be married, and that's fine. With that just comes down to whether you want to be married or not. But that doesn't define if you're going to make it to the kingdom or not. Obeying the Lord and keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments, that determines if you're going to make it to the kingdom or not. Like, there's nowhere in the law that says a woman must be married, or there's nowhere it says a man must be married. If a sister don't want to get married, that's her prerogative. If a brother don't want to get married, that's his prerogative. So yeah, as long as you serve the Lord, keep his laws, statutes, and commandments, and do everything you're supposed to, then yep, that's how you make your election sure. And coming in here, you definitely make your election sure, because in here there's no room for error. So there's no room for you to go to the left, no room for you to go to the right. In here, there's no room for error. And with that, that brings us to the end of the class. We're going to do the security announcements, and we have keep it up.
This is the ISUPK security announcements. Where the ISUPK started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers chapter 18 and verse 21, Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 to 10, means tenth in Hebrew, Maya Sha'ara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priest, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations.
We got the memorial of blowing the trumpet, September 25th. Then after that, the next one is October 9th. So they're close by. Then there's one the week later after that. Then after that, we got the Day of Atonement. So all of these ones come back to back. So just be mindful of that. So yep, September 25th and October 9th.
Or Akim and Akkoff to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. So that was say Majim. Majim Shabbat, Majim, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah.
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah.
Jimatah, class dismissed.
All right, we're off for what for jumping in. I appreciate it.
No sweat, other one.
All right, then Shalom. Yahweh Shabbat Kafar.
Yo, Bashim, Shabbat.
All right, Shalom Israel. Be here tomorrow with Captain Parasha, 7 p.m. till 9. Shalom Israel.